Hey folks, JWE Revelation News. So, I've been sort of watching people's reaction to OBAMAGATE, and it seems to me that the majority of the American people don't even know what it is. Because I've had that, our audiences, my wife and mine, are pretty, they're small. So when you hear the question multiple times, it's obvious that something's going on that people need to know what it is. So I'm going to try to do that in this video quick. I'm not going to take too long because we're learning more every day. So this video is going to be what it is now, but I think it's going to bloom into this massive turd blossom of evil. And Alex probably would love that term, because that term turd blossom, comes from Roger Stone's movie about W. Bush called W. And that's what George W. in his more humorous days, and I think his humorous days are back, because he's just a painter now. But anyway, W liked to call Karl Rove turd blossom. So when this all comes out, it's going to stink so bad that the American people are going to go, that guy was our president for 8 years? That Obama guy was president 8 years. And he did all of this. And the documents are, if you're of the opinion that the buck stops with the president, folks, like I said in a recent video, what was done in the old days, I won't even say. But if you're a student of history, you should Google punishment for treason. I think you should do that if you're an American. And you would see what would happen to all of these people. Let's say it starts with an H, okay? And I'm not talking about Hillary. It starts with an H.
Well, she'd be part of that.
She'd be part of it. It's a verb. It's an action word. A very harsh one. But anyway.
It's also a game with words. And you know.
I can say that. The game of hangman is fun. Now you know.
Guess
So,
the word.
Huh?
It has 3 A's in it, and it has a G in it, and a T, and a B,
Yeah.
and an A, and an O.
Sure.
Obamagate.
So what is this about, really? Well, first of all, the government released a bunch of documents. Now, the place I'm telling you to get them at, I don't support the guy and I never have, but you can get the documents there. I'm sure you can get them on some official government website, but I don't know where that would be. If you go to glennbeck.com, you can get all of them. And there are redactions, of course, because they always redact shit. But there's enough information that's not redacted to tell you that the FBI had cleared General Flynn of any wrongdoing, basically right at the beginning of the investigation, okay? Obama ordered that it continue because POTUS, one of his lackeys, said in an email, POTUS wants to know exactly what's going on here, okay? So Obama, in not many words, because he's a smart man, he knows the implications of this is Watergate times a billion. So Obama, to cover his tracks, was basically on the back end of this, guiding people without speech or emails. And if there were emails, which I would guarantee there are, executive privilege, folks. He doesn't have to give those emails executive privilege. But see, our court system is no longer being manipulated by the black hand right now, because Trump has replaced many that are patriot-minded constitutionalists. See, I'm talking to the elite right now. This is the day of reckoning. That was the title of my last video, Day of Reckoning. This is the day you were waiting for. The black hand is being revealed in the sunlight because Trump. Because Trump. Nobody else would do this. Because Donald Trump is a JFK type. He wants people to know about their government. He's not Illuminati. For you Christians that say he's Illuminati, he's not. He's a Mason? Sure. Would you expect a New York real estate mogul to not rub shoulders with Masons and become probably part of their crew? Why not? You're going to make more money because you're part of the Builders Guild. That's what it is. Masonry is a guild. It's like video games. You know guilds in video games? It's a crew that you run with. Donald Trump ran with Masons. He's not like, oh my God, I'm a Mason and it's amazing. He's like, yeah, I'm a Mason. So? Because I know a lot of Christians have problems with that. Oh my God, automatic Mason, you're evil. It's not as black and white as that. And the majority of Masons are porch Masons. They just talk about stuff at their meetings, and it's a club. That's all it is. To a lot of people. Now, the very top kingmakers, which some people say Donald Trump is a kingmaker and he's top on the totem pole. No, he's not. He's a mid-range, if anything. I say he's low-range because he's gone into bankruptcy. He's a billionaire, but he's not a trillionaire. The controllers are trillionaires, okay? They blink, and it's like they spend $100. Like, that's what we're dealing with. People like that, okay? So, OBAMAGATE, enclosed in a nugget for you, is this. Barack Obama's administration broke the law. They were attempting to surveil Donald Trump and his campaign people to get some kind of Russian collusion information. Oh my God. And once Trump won, they got their evidence as they so thought it, because Flynn, who was a part of the administration, an advisor to the president, and the president himself, and various other cabinet people that were going to be in cabinets, started talking to people from Russia. Well, holy shit, duh. The president has been elected, and he's going to start talking to Russians. Oh my God. Treason. No, it's not. It's called being a statesman. Do you get that? It's called being a statesman, because he was now President-elect Trump. Donald Trump, nor any of his people broke the law. Do you understand that? Then when that didn't work, they tried to make it this conversation with the Ukrainian prime minister. Oh, see, he talked about Hunter Biden. That's it. That's illegal. He's president. He can't do that. Wrong. He was not telling the Ukrainian prime minister to find exculpatory or incriminating evidence. He said to the Ukrainian prime minister, I'm interested about the corruption probe with Hunter Biden, and I think you should look into that. And the Ukrainian prime minister said, absolutely, sir, we've been looking into it. That was the conversation. It was longer, with Trump congratulating the gentleman from the Ukraine. He won his election, and like a gentleman, Our president called him and said, congrats, man, I was rooting for you. How would you feel to have Donald Trump rooting for you to win for office? And he did. See, people like Trump. People like Trump's method because he doesn't bullshit. He gives you it straight up. So, OBAMAGATE is the biggest story of political corruption in the history of America. Now, that's a very big statement to make. Technically, it's not. But for us to know the real bad stuff in our history, founding of the Federal Reserve, things like that, we're not even going to talk about them because it's too controversial and people get all worked up. But the biggest scandal is that we don't coin our own money anymore. And we're beholden to bankers. And what do you hear Donald Trump say about the Federal Reserve? He's been nice to them recently because they put their rates at 0. But normally, he hates the Fed because he knows it's handcuffs on the economy that destroy it. Okay? With interest rates. That's how they do this. But anyway, not even the Fed is fighting Trump. That tells you something. We have what we would call a prophet king in Donald Trump. I'm not kidding, because he has called stuff exactly as it's happened. We have a prophet king like Israel. Righteous leadership. Oh my Lord. Can you imagine that? Yeah, it happened. He got elected 2016. You have a righteous king. But what do the liberals do? They do everything they can to destroy him. Straight up. So you better pay attention to Obamagate and do not treat it as a joke, because you're an American citizen if you're listening from this from the States. You are an American citizen, and you do not want your government to be as fucked up as it was with Barack Obama again. So you better go to that poll on November, 7th? What's the date of the election? It's Super Tuesday. You better go to that poll, and you better pull the lever or push the button on the touchscreen for Donald John Trump, because he is draining the swamp. JWE Revelation News. Shalom.